Hello guys, welcome back to another new video. Today we will be discussing one topic from the tissue level of organization in the first unit of human anatomy and physiology, which is the nervous tissue. So by the end of this video, you will be getting to know what is a nervous tissue, what are the different types of structures which are involved in a particular nerve cell, and different types of neurons and the structure along with its function will be known in this video. So stay with me till the end of the video. So let's start. So what is a nervous tissue? So to know more about this nervous tissue, the first thing is to draw its structure to understand it better. So let us draw it. This is one of the easiest diagram. The neuron structure is drawn. Now let us see the labeling of each one of it. So this particular part, this one, it is called as a nerve cell. And these extendings will be calling it as the dendrites. This is called as the nucleus. The red colored structure is called as the nucleus of the nerve cell. So this long extending is called as the axon. This is called as the myelin sheath, and the covering which is present on this myelin sheath we will be calling it as the neurolemma. And this particular intervals, the gap between the two myelin sheaths, we will be calling it as the nodes of Renier. So any neuron, if it is having this myelin sheaths on it, that particular neuron is called as the myelinated neuron. If the same neuron, if it is present without this myelin sheath, now that will be called as, if it is simply without any myelin sheaths, then that particular neuron we will be calling it as the non-myelinated neuron. So that is completely about its structure. So what is a nerve tissue? Nerve tissue is something that is useful for carrying the stimulus. Carrying the stimulus is nothing but transferring the messages within the body from one part to the another part. So that is the function of the nervous tissue. And the second thing is, it has two main important properties, which is, the first one is the irritability, and the second property is the conductivity. And next thing is, this neuron we will be calling it as the neurons are the unit structures of the nervous tissue. These neurons, if they are along with the connective tissue, that particular thing is called as the neuroglia. Now let us discuss about each part in detail. So the first one is nerve cell. Okay, so what happens in the nerve cell? This forms the gray matter. It is useful for forming a gray matter of the nervous system. And where it is present in the periphery of the brain, center of the spinal cord, and also it is present in groups. If it is present in groups, it is called as present as a ganglia out of the brain. This axon, so you can take axon, and also dendrite is there, so they will be useful for forming the white matter of the nervous system. So they are found deep into the brain. They are present in the brain, and also they are present in the peripheral of the spinal cord also. And this axon, it is having one it also consists of few elements in it. First one is axolemma. Okay, axolemma is something, it is consisting of axoplasma. Axoplasm, and it is a membrane of axon. And it also has a second part which is called as the myelin sheath. So now what is this myelin sheath? So it is a fatty material that will be surrounding the axons. This surrounds the axon and it gives a white appearance. So this myelin sheath, is absent in these spaces, which is the intervals we call it as. So it is absent at the intervals. So those intervals are called as the nodes of Renier. So what does these nodes of Renier do? They will be useful for the rapid transmission of the nerve impulses. For the rapid transmission of nerve impulses, the nodes of Renier will be used. And next thing is, it also has the third most part, which is called as the neurolemma. It is called as neurolemma. So it is actually a fine delicate membrane that will be useful for surrounding the axon. It also contains these cells, this cells. Now these cells are called as the Schwann cells. These are called as the Schwann cells. What does the Schwann cells do? They will be useful for surrounding the axon, and also they will also surround the myelin sheath. So dendrites are the extendings of the neuron. Extendings of the neuron. They are useful for carrying the impulses towards the nervous cell. So they are shorter than the axon because axon is a bit longer. Dendrites are small. So each neuron will be having many dendrites. So this is about the different functions of the neuron and also its structure. Now let us see what are the different types of neurons. Now let us see the different types of neurons. Actually, there are three different types of neurons. So the first one will be the sensory neuron. First one is sensory neuron. So sensory neuron is also called as the efferent neuron. And the second one will be the motor neuron. Motor neuron is also called as the efferent neuron. And the third one will be the intercalated neuron. So what does this sensory or efferent neurons do? They are useful for the transmission of the nerve impulses. They are useful for transfer. They will be transferring nerve impulses from the peripheral of the body, from the peripheral of the body to the spinal cord. From the spinal cord, they will be reaching it to, they'll be sending them to the brain. So brain is a space where these impulses will be interpreted and they can be sensed. For this, you can take the example of sense of touch and sense of taste. The second one will be the motor or efferent neuron. So here the same nerve impulses will be transmitted, but the difference is it transfers them from the brain and spinal cord to the other parts of the body. Here it is, what is intercalated neuron? It is present in between sensory and motor neurons. These are present in between sensory and motor neurons. So they will be forming a link in the nerve pathway. So that is all about these different types. So whenever you talk about a nervous tissue or a nerve cell, there is one important term you need to remember, which is the synapse. Which is synapse or synapse. So what is this? It is actually present in the junction. It is in the junction between the two nerve cells. It is in the junction between two nerve cells. So what all is needed in this? You have to draw the diagram of the nerve cell. Second thing is you should write the different types of neurons, which I have explained in the previous slides. Third thing is you have to include all these points to make your answer more effective. So that's all for this video. If you like the video, please do like, share, subscribe and do comment. See you back in the next video.